Hey, everybody, welcome to the Vegas Beat. I'm Tony George in my office, and that is Griffin Murphy. He is in my sports bar in the house in the next room. You know what we're doing? This month, ladies and gentlemen, on the sports betting show for guys and gals who like to bet sports, just a little banter today, a little fun, a little humor. But you know what? This is the month the NFL starts. There's a game before the end of the month. Griff, how you doing, brother?
Living the dream, Tony. You know, I'm about 15 feet away from you right now. Just finished a nice workout. Got on Doc's Daily. Good, beautiful day in Kansas City. What's there not to like? Come on, living the dream, man. Always. How you doing over there, 15 feet away?
Well, I'm getting ready to brainstorm on some NFL power ratings with Griffin and I are working on our college and pro football stuff. And why not put two minds together? We're also mapping out the Gridiron six-pack. This will be the 7th year of the Gridiron six-pack and the 3rd year that Griffin Murphy has been co-host of that show. So first year, 68% against the spread over 113 games. Last year, right around 58% over about 100 games. Mm-hmm. So it's worth tuning into. That show will debut towards the end of this month with our future show, which we do every year. Give you some season win totals, some futures, some division winners, and we're going to touch on the NFL a little later in the show. And, of course, we also are going, in just a minute, going to talk about the big special we had last week with the 93% off prop deal that we offered off menu. You have to call the office. We'll bring that banner up for you, the number a little bit later in the show. Overwhelming response. Those of you that jumped on, I've went 5 and 2 the last 7 days. So you've already paid for your package that we offered you. And Griff, I know you had overwhelming response as well. Guys jumping on that deal. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's talk about briefly the big surprise last night in the WNBA.
Yeah.
The Commissioner's Cup were the unbeaten at home and 14-2 overall. Minnesota Lynx went all the way up to 8.5 against the Caitlin Clarkless. She didn't play. Indiana Fever, and Indiana went there and beat them by 15 in their own house in a low-scoring game, which I gave out for free on Doc's Daily yesterday, as well as my video free play. Shocker in the WNBA last night, Griff.
Yeah, Tony, absolute shocker. I mean, looking at that game, it was kind of like, I talked about this a little bit briefly on Doc's Daily, and we'll talk about it again. Minnesota was just getting torched so bad. Going into that second half, they kind of just took their foot off the gas and laid down. And then Indiana, they kind of had some fire with them, you know, playing with Caitlin Clark. Everybody's been bashing her. This was kind of their setup situation to kind of win something. And they went forward and absolutely just mowed down Minnesota in that matchup, which was totally unexpected. That line actually jumped. I had a big play on that. I laid the points with Minnesota at 6.5. That line actually closed at -11. So it nearly went double.
Oh, that was a close.
Close at 11, ends up doubling them up, beat them by 30 points nearly. So it was just a bad game overall. Minnesota took their foot off the gas. Indiana came ready to play, and they had more to play for, and they proved it last night.
The WNBA, guess who, ladies and gentlemen, the best cover team in the WNBA as we take a day off of the WNBA. 5 games on the slate tomorrow. We're on a nice run in the WNBA right now. I know Griffin's doing well as well. Golden State Valkyries, the expansion team, first year, picked to finish maybe with 2, possibly 3 wins. They are 11-5 against the spread, 9-7 straight up. Now, if I'd have told you those 2 things at the beginning of the season, and they would have a better record than the Vegas Aces and the Indiana Fever, you'd have told me I was crazy. Tony, get off the crack pipe.
Absolutely. I mean, they were nothing more than an expansion team. I don't know even how this team's coming out and doing this. Not only are they winning games, they're beating the hell out of teams. I mean, this team's getting +8, +9 going in. They're winning outright matchups. And it's exciting because with that expansion going down the line, going to 2028, 2029, and 2030. I know they're expanding 3 more teams as well. There's going to be a Cleveland team. There's going to be a Philadelphia team. And I can't remember what that last team is, Tony, but a lot of
it might be Detroit.
Detroit. Okay. Yes. And a lot of exciting things going on in the WNBA. And I was just on Doc's Daily and we talked about how Caitlin Clark got ranked 9th across the best WNBA players. I don't know how that could even be possible. And I don't know if you have an opinion on that as well. She is not number 9 in my book.
Well, what you're seeing in that league is petty jealousy.
Sure.
You're seeing her getting treated like a punching bag during games. It's kind of like the Brett Favre game back way in the day, Bounty Gate, for lack of a better term, it seems. And a lot of drama. All she does is ball. And she's making a bunch of money, and these gals are pissed. She's getting all the limelight. Now, a lot of people are throwing the race card out there and all this crazy stuff. If you listen to guys like Jason Whitlock, out in the mainstream media world, she has single-handedly flipped this league in a year. What are you thinking? Why are you biting off the hand that feeds you? Your ratings have quadrupled. You're selling out arenas. I mean, and yet they're biting off the hand that feeds them. You know, the Brittany Griner thing, where you could read her lips on the sideline, trash white girl, blah, 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 all this stuff. She is making your league viable and creating interest. And if you are a WNBA player and you're jealous about endorsement money, she's on State Farm, she's doing some shoe company, other things as well, banking, a crap ton of money where maybe others aren't yet. Well, if the ratings and the interest increase, the star players will have more opportunities for endorsements with the increased interest in the league. What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't get it.
Dude, it's nothing more than any other market evolving. All this girl did was open up a can of worms. It's a money pit, and now the money pit is just getting bigger and bigger. It's only going to grow. So to your point, correct it. Exactly. That's exactly what's happening. This girl has opened up so much opportunities in the WNBA, and all she's doing is getting shit on for it and beat up on the court physically, which is absolutely ridiculous. The girl's done everything she's been asked. She's been a baller across all cylinders. There's just nothing more to take from it. It's jealousy at the end of the day, Tony.
I had a son.
7-0 Tigers.
I had a son. I have a daughter. With the son, there was no drama, and with the daughter, it was drama nonstop. Now, I'm not stereotyping women in general, but it seems to be the rule in the WNBA that we're going to create all this drama surrounding a couple of players. Angel Reese, she's a lightning rod for controversy. A couple of others. Settle down. And by the way, they need some better referees in that league too. But settle down, girls. Enjoy the ride. You went from Greyhound bus to a plane with propellers to now you're getting charter planes and staying in the Hilton instead of the Super 8. Caitlin Clark is 85% of that.
Yep.
Bear that in mind. Bear that in mind moving forward. So that being said, WNBA fires back up tomorrow. My handicapper, Tim Fines, told me that he had a 7-unit player prop on deck, and he's going to be kicking in some WNBA player props to go along with the Major League Baseball player props. And let's just get it out in the open, Griff. Last week, we did a prop show for the Vegas Beat. If you didn't watch it, it's archived on this Doc's YouTube channel. And it was not our typical happy-go-lucky fire from the hip and have a lot of fun and just shoot the shit about, sports betting in general. It was a serious show on why you need to be attacking this market.
Mhm.
And if you're not attacking this market, got a short card today with a bunch of doubleheaders, not a lot of interest in Major League Baseball, maybe some chalky favorites, some very tight lines today. Well, guess what? You think there's no opportunity today, especially if you're an action junkie, you like to have a little action on the games. Are you considering the prop market? Because if you're not, a game that has no value, side or total, or even first five, or even the run line, there's probably 4 or 5 good value opportunities in the prop market.
Yeah.
That's what we tried to tell them last week. So what we did was we made an offer. You have to call the office to get it. Let me preface this by saying, well, right now you're going, these guys are a couple of scamsters. They want us to call some silver-tongued devil, call 1-800-CAN'T-LOSE, blah, 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 blah. This isn't 1989 or 1994.
Mhm.
This is 2025. DocSports has been around 53 years. We have real customer service. Now, here was the deal we ran last week. Our prop cards are $25 each.
Yeah.
365 days a year. That comes around $9,100. Guess what? We'll give you 365 days, a full year of props from Griff or myself, $650. Now, that's $650 each. So either choose Griff or me. $650 each for 365 days of props. Now we're talking an entire NFL season, the rest of the Major League Baseball season, some NHL, some WNBA, and the NBA next year.
Yep.
By the way, some crazy news in the NBA. We'll talk about that in a minute. But all those sports from July 2nd, 2025 to July 2nd, 2026, $650. You call that 866 number right there, and you mention the Vegas Beat off-menu prop discount. Now, those of you that jumped on board with me last week, 7 days ago, you've went 5-2 and already made your money back. And we have a 6-unit prop tonight. FYI. $650. No hassles, no upsell, no bull crap. You call that 866 number right there at the bottom of the screen. Just mention the Vegas Beat prop discount. You can get me for $650 or Griff for $650.
Depends. You want the old bull or the young buck? You guys tell me. You want the head? You want the good-looking young bull or the old buck? You tell me, Tony, as you like to say.
Respect your elder. That's right. You want experience? It's like Ronald Reagan told Walter Mondale in the presidential debate on national television. For you youngins, Ronald Reagan used to be the president of the United States. Mm-hmm. They brought up the fact that Reagan was almost 80 and Mondale was a lot younger. And he said, I am not going to make age an issue in this election. I am not going to state the fact that youth and inexperience of my opponent is a detriment.
You know what, man? Yeah. I got nowhere to go here. I got nowhere to go with this one. I got algorithm. You name it.
That's because I'm a wise old bull and I walk down there and do one at a time. All of them. You want to run down there and do one. So, nonetheless, getting off that subject, we'll mention it again at the end of the show, but there's the 86. Yeah, and we have real live customer service. Like, this isn't DirecTV. You ever have to call Verizon for something? You ever have to call AT&T for something and go through 1,000 hoops? Press 1 to talk to a live rep, and an actual dude comes on there. Our good buddy Guy, sometimes Wade, the owner of the company, Joey, Doug. I think we got 4 of them. Guess what? They're there to help you. You have a question about something on the site, they're there to help you. You want to get this 93% off deal that's not on the menu of things you can buy there? Just call that 866 number. I want the Vegas Beat prop discount, $650. Give me a year of props. 22-8 last year in the NFL on top picks. And Griff, your 4-unit plays on your prop bets are an insane number right now.
Yeah, I'm currently sitting on my 4-unit plays. I'm 67-44 on the year for $6,680 profit. And starting this year off long term when it comes to all of my prop selections, I'm 101-83 on a $1,300 profit run. So we've been very consistent. I want to say that's angling around 55 to 56%. So we've been extremely consistent. And we talked about that prior to on the last show about props and how it's just such an open market and how there's so much to cherry pick. And I'll go into it right now. I went off of that. Even in today's slate, I know there's only MLB and there's not a ton of value on today's card. Well, I've got 3 MLB game props. There's prop value all over the market, and they're all 4-unit plays. So there is a lot of value in that prop market. I won't go much deeper into it, but just like Tony mentioned, I mean, we've got WNBA. I throw WNBA player props out all the time. That is another league where there's just not a ton of speculation. The market hasn't got a full grasp on the side, or they're fully dialed in on the sides and totals. They haven't gotten a full grasp on player versus player. That is a very untapped market. I want to say through my 4 or 5 selections across WNBA, I'm unbeaten 4-5-0. I had Plum in my last one on a 5-unit and she hit. So there's a lot of value. And as Tony mentioned, we've got NFL rolling around. Baseball's in the midst of fire right now. NHL coming back up in a little bit. We've got NBA. So there is just value across all cylinders. And I always kind of lean them off. If you guys ever see, I'll just tip this right now. If I give out a 3-unit, 4-unit player prop and I'm on Kelsey Plum over points, well, guess what? I'm backing her team as well. So there's a little tip off for everybody. Just wanted to throw that in there, Tony.
Yeah. Again, $650 a full year, all sports, either me or Griff, $650. You can get both of us if you want for even a $1,300. That's a $1,300 deal. That's value. 2 cappers, 2 different minds. But nonetheless, yeah, Griff and I are here in Kansas City. We're going to be working on NFL and college football stuff and putting our minds together. It's a working week this week here in Kansas City. But out in Vegas, a couple of different things are going on. Now, Griff and I think, are going to enter the Circa Millions contest.
100%.
This morning, I was down in my office working, and I was combing a few Twitter accounts I follow, and something popped up from the Plaza Hotel downtown. Ladies and gentlemen, Griff and I are going to meet up in Vegas, and we're going to take advantage of this deal. We took this ad and if you follow me at TGeorgeSports on Twitter, I reposted this. The Plaza Hotel is offering a deal per day for $125, and here's the deal. You get a room, you get 2 meal vouchers per day per stay, no resort fee, discount happy hour at Oscars, but here's where they got me. Now listen, unlimited well cocktails. You had me right there. You had me. Could you imagine how much money they would lose on me on unlimited well cocktails?
Tony, 125 alone. We will take them down for a dime in 2 hours.
They are going to lose money on Griff Murphy and I. Guarantee you. That is a hell of a deal, though. And the Crack Man, everybody knows who Bill Krackberger is. Nonetheless, he had posted this, and I reposted it at TGeorge. It's a video. It's a video ad from the Plaza. And Oscars, by the way, is a hell of a steakhouse. If you've never eaten there, it's that second level. And just for craps and giggles, if you get the munchies in the morning, they got a pink donut shop right out in front of the joint. And somebody told me that donut shop does like $400,000 a month gross revenue.
Wow.
Yeah, I read that. And actually, I read that in the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
I know the place you're talking about. I never had a donut there, but though.
Oh.
I've been there. I know what you're talking about.
Well, you know, a cup of coffee in the morning.
With little Bailey's in it.
Little Bailey's.
Take
free.
advantage of that 125.
Well, it can't be name brand, but whatever brand of Bailey's they got in the coffee, I don't give a rat's ass. It's comped. Well, whiskey, water, and 7, comped. Tequila water, comped.
That's all we need. That's all we need, Tony. Are you kidding me? 125 will bankrupt them.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, get there quick because the Plaza's Lab will be broke within the next 2 months. Because Griff and we're telling everybody. Okay. Also in Las Vegas, another story, Resorts World. A guy was over at Resorts World playing $25,000 a hand, blackjack. And you know how the waitress comes around, the server, I think that the cocktail server, and asks you what you would like to drink while you're playing games. And most places it's still free. Although Vegas is, this is just an example of the demise of Las Vegas, which is why we need to get the mob back involved. Okay. But he asked for a banana strawberry smoothie as his comp drink. And the gal said, "Are you staying here?" This is on video. And he said, "No." She goes, "Then you can't get it." Are you kidding me? 25,000. How many hands is he going to play at 25,000 a pop before it even takes her time to go get it made and bring it back? He's 200,000 in handle by the time she gets back. They wouldn't give him the drink. $10 comp drink.
I bet she doesn't have a job anymore.
Yeah. Derek Stevens got on VEASAN the other day with Mitch and Paulie on Follow the Money, which is a great show, I might add, mid-afternoon. I'm a big VEASAN fan. I've appeared on that network numerous times. Love me some Matt Humans. Love me some Mitch and Paulie. They asked Stevens about it. He goes 25,000 a hand. He gets whatever he wants. Dude, comp meal at Barry's Prime. You want some 35-year-old Macallan? Whatever you want. Bottle of Cristal. Done. What are you doing? But this is the problem. As you know, both you and I left Las Vegas about the same time last year. It's going downhill. It's become so corporate and so metered drinks and penny pinch from these corporate entities and tightening of machines and high limits to even get involved on a blackjack table.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. I remember when they had the F1 race there the first year, I was over at the Wynn. The cheapest table to get on was $100 per hand. You can't do that in Las Vegas and survive much longer. People are already bitching about it.
It was, Tony, living out there was absolutely ridiculous. I was going to say, you took the words out of my mouth. I showed up to the Wynn for dinner one night. I said, I'm going to go play some blackjack. $100 minimum. That was the minimum. I'm sitting there like, all right, I'll have some fun real quick. Got ripped for 500 real fast. Just like, great. Well, there goes dinner. It's gotten so out of control. I went back there on my 21st birthday. I'm 28 now. I was there for my 21st birthday. I was getting handed drinks left and right every time I took a seat down. If I sat down at one of the machines, it didn't matter. Now you have to bag, and then they charge you $25. I drink tequila water with the Casamigo Blanco, tequila water with the lime. That's standard out in Vegas for $26 a drink. So if I'm looking to have a night, I'm in the whole $300 just drinking alone, just on booze alone. It has gotten so absolutely ridiculous out there. It's hard to go back.
I remember when I was about your age, I was going out there and they had a radio studio in the Stardust Sportsbook, and I was doing some shows in there, and I would leave there and I would go to the floor and stay at the Stardust, basically a mob-owned hotel. Everybody knows that. No big deal. Roxy Roxborough, all that stuff. Anyway, Lefty Rosenthal, whatever. So anyway, I would go into the floor and sit down and play $5 a hand blackjack single deck. And I can count to 52. And I'm winning money. I got $300, $400, $500, $600 in front of me. I might bump it up to 15, 20 a hand. Win a couple of big hands against a dealer, single deck, easy if you pay attention. And they'd walk over and go, "Sir, would you like some comp tickets to Wayne Newton?"
Right.
In the Lido room? Sure. Yeah. You smoking cigs? You want a pack? On the house? They just bring them to you. They'd bring you drinks every 5 minutes, whether you wanted them or not. And I mean good drinks.
Yeah.
That's old school Vegas. That's gone. That's gone. That's history.
I didn't get to experience it.
No, and it's too bad because it's going downhill. Okay, we're switching gears quickly. Griff, give me an update on that Washington and Detroit score early game today.
Still sitting 7-0 Tigers. We're at top of 4. Tigers got 2 guys on first and third, nobody out. This
beautiful. I've got the beautiful.
Blowout.
My first premium play of the day is over 9 in that game. Hello.
All right, there we go. I'm on Padres premium game 1. They're up 5-0. I've got them and the total over. So we're looking good here, Tony. Good start to the day.
I had a 7 uni on that Philly game yesterday and it got canceled. And I had Philly on the run. And I loved it, but I'm not carrying that over. When it goes to the next day and there's a doubleheader, there's going to be a pitching change or whatever. You got to just back out of it. So, but we won on a late total last night with Arizona, San Francisco. The NFL's preseason begins this month. There's going to be some opportunity in the preseason. Not a ton, but Griff and I, what we're doing this week is actually starting to look at college and pro football. We're just bouncing ideas off each other and kind of, because you got to get in that mode. You got to be ready. Come the end of August, you need 60 days to get ready.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing. There's a lot to process, but a couple of things I wanted to look at. And I know we got our buddy Lenny here. I'm looking at Lenny's Detroit Lions. Now, that division, the big question, you got a lot of question marks in that division. Two of them, the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the Minnesota Vikings, because of the quarterback situation, they're putting all their eggs on J.J. McCarthy, even though what's his name last year?
Darnold.
Sam Darnold won like 12 games.
Yeah.
Now, on the other side of the coin, we don't know what's going to happen with your Chicago Bears yet.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Williams finally has a coach, a more secure staff, more weapons around him. There's some optimism there, but you don't know what you're going to get out of either one of those. And we know what you're going to get from Green Bay. Good, solid football team, good quarterback, fundamentally sound, well coached. Exactly. We know that for a fact. And you got to go play Lambeau Field. We know what that is for a fact. Okay. So the Lions still seem to be the cream of the crop. Their win total is if you go under 10.5 wins, it's minus 120. Now, just on the surface, 11 teams on their 17-game schedule had playoff berth last year. And they're playing 7 of those 11 teams on the road. And we have a new offensive and new defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for Lenny to jump in here and defend himself.
Lenny,
there he is.
I'm ready.
Oh, there he is.
Hat. I had to bring out the Lions hat.
So does any of that stuff concern you at all?
I'm not concerned about the Bears in any way, shape, or form. The Vikings just tend to be mid, like no matter what. They're just a mid team. Will they, we got to play the Packers, Vikings, and the Bears twice a year. That's 6 games. I think we maybe lose one of those somewhere along the line. I'll give 5-1 of our division. I've looked at our schedule. I saw you 10.5. I feel like I'm being really reserved with saying that they're going to go 12-5.
Okay. That's
I see the argument. My argument here is I can't necessarily make one on this situation, considering the fact we saw what Detroit did all season long last year, got a very similar team despite losing their offensive coordinator to my Chicago Bears. But looking in this division right now, there's too many liability factors. Minnesota, we don't know what they're going to be capable of doing with McCarthy at helm, So there's kind of a big liability there. We don't know if Darnold does, if he's going to come out and absolutely scorch. Then the Chicago Bears, every single year, I mean, I'm saying the same damn shit. This is our year. We're going to be great this year. We've got our team. We've got our stacked quarterback. We've got our receivers. We got everybody. We failed to capitalize every single season. So right there's two liabilities already in the NFC North. The Packers, Jordan Love, he's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He's going to get you 7 to 8 wins, maybe 9 wins. They will come out always competitive in the NFC North. And then you have the Detroit Lions, who it's hard for me to back this team. Jared Goff, he's coming off of absolute phenomenal season, but at the same time, this guy's had inconsistencies in his career. I understand where your head's at with this team total right now, Tony. If you put a gun to my head and said I had to take one, I'd draw the under. I think there's more value looking at this divisional to see who's going to win the division. Right now, Detroit is plus 155 to actually win the division. So if I was to take a wager, considering this conversation right now, my wager would not be on the team total. My wager would be on Detroit to win the division. Now, with that being said, do I believe they're going to win the division? I don't. Do I believe this is going to be the Bears season to win the division? Maybe. They're definitely going to be in conversation. They have a lot more weapons. They have now established that rookie out of Caleb Williams. Well, he's now no longer a rookie, so you can kind of get rid of that confluence. He doesn't have excuses this year. There's a lot of liability factors in the NFC North, but I don't necessarily love the team total. If I had to take it, I'd go under. If I took a team, though, I would take the Detroit Lions to win the division at plus 155 for plus value. I think that's the better play here, Tony.
I have them at actually 11-6. But it's right on that 10.5, and it's right. They're either gonna. It's between 10 and 11 wins for me for them. I mean, they're going to be a playoff team. There's no doubt about it. And you're right, at plus 155 to win the division, regardless of what we don't know about Minnesota, regardless of what we don't know about Chicago, they're still better than the Packers.
Yeah.
And so that means they're going to win the division. And that's a great futures bet. Lenny?
First of all, it's 10-0 Tigers. So you're over 10-0 Tigers. They just hit a 3-run bomb. They're raking today.
There goes the total, Tony. You had that total?
Yeah. So
wow.
Shout out.
And Washington had to contribute a run, and it's the 4th inning. And I won a total.
Wow.
Yeah. Jared Goff, I feel like Jared Goff plays as well as his offensive line plays. And if you don't, as long as you keep him clean, he will pick you apart. But you could say that for a lot of quarterbacks, but I'm very concerned about coordinators. More offensive than defense. Defense, I like defensive coach Sheldon or Sheldon. He played for Seattle for a long time, linebackers coach. Now he's been with Aaron Glenn forever as the linebackers coach assistant. Now he's the defensive coordinator. So he's just going to slip right in. I feel like that in that defense.
You don't feel like there's a lot of transition there you need to worry about.
Yep. My biggest concern is Frank Ragnow, retired. And for those of you who don't know who Big Frank is, you can find him on YouTube. He's got a great outdoor channel. He goes fishing. Big guy likes to fish. Bottom line, though, he was the center of that line. He was their staple. Everything stopped with them. That's why they run the ball so well, is because their offensive line. So we got some, we're going to move some people around. Graham Glass now. I don't know how you say his name. He's moving to center, but rookie Tate Ratledge, I think his name is.
Ratledge.
Rocking a mohawk. Dude just screams he was meant to be on the offensive line.
Yeah.
We're going to sandwich him between Graham and Panay, which I love because he's a rookie. He's going to make rookie mistakes. But you sandwich in between veteran guys that have been on that line and just going to say, hey, man, this is how we roll. So I'm concerned, but feel good about it at the same sense. I don't know how to say that, but
yeah, the learning curve is going to be shorter with him between two veterans.
Absolutely. And I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the underrated wide receivers in the league. He's a possession guy. He's not the Justin Jefferson. He's not that guy. But I'll tell you what, he catches everything you throw at him. Yep. And he's
yards after the catch and a great prop player for yards.
And I don't feel like Jamari Gibbs has caught his stride yet. And that dude is on year 3.
And he's another prop hidden gem every week.
Every week.
Not so much, probably won't be this year, but
that 1-2 punch between him and David Montgomery, former Bear, found his light, found Jesus, came to Detroit, all that good stuff. And he's just a great he's a great wrecking ball. It's Sam Laporta is a little, I
love Laporta.
Yeah.
He's awesome. So
you are naming down some real talent pool names here, I will say.
I gotta just kind of have faith in the big meathead that is Dan Campbell. And we gotta, I just like the way he changed it. I know. I hope I see you there. I hope I see you. I feel like the Lions window, though, is on the ass end of that window being open.
Yeah.
We got a couple years, for as good as Jared Goff is or consistent, he's on the tail end. And
I don't know about
we got Hendon Hooker behind him. So God bless Jared Goff. He doesn't go down.
Hey, speaking of quarterback depth, just real quick, and then we're going to give you, again, if you just tuned in late, we're going to put it up for you in just a second. 93% off, an off-menu deal you can't find on the website for investing in prop market from Griffin and I. But that being said, just a yes or no. Pittsburgh Steelers over or under 8.5 wins with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Lenny?
So, yes, but not with Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he makes the season. I don't think he finishes the season.
Okay, stop there. We talked about quarterbacks. You went right to Hendon Hooker. Who the hell does Pittsburgh have besides the Howard kid, rookie, and because they passed on everybody in the draft that was
Metcalf.
And they got Mason Rudolph back, who can't get a lap dance at the Spearmint Rhino in Vegas with a fistful of hundreds. So if Rodgers goes down, they're screwed.
Yeah.
They're screwed.
Let us not forget.
And by the way, Aaron Rodgers gets hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're not playing for the Jets anymore. This division, they'll beat the piss out of you. The Browns, I don't care if they're no good or not, win-loss record. The Browns play defense, nasty defense.
Yeah.
They get after the quarterback. The Baltimore Ravens need no introduction. And the Cincinnati Bengals got one of the best defensive ends that loves to pound quarterbacks in all of the NFL. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is not going to make a 17-game schedule. Now, Griff, it's your turn. Over or under 8.5 wins?
Over. And over really quickly, going down their schedule right now. So they open up against the Jets. They're going to go balls deep in that game. They're going to want to win that game. Seattle, game 2. That's hit or miss. Then they have New England, beatable for sure. Minnesota after that, we don't really know what to expect. That's a little bit of case of liability. Cleveland after that, we know about that defense, as you just mentioned. They are just a madhouse.
That's an under game. That total will be 36, 35.
And it's in Pitt. It's in Pitt. Cincinnati, there's another one they'll probably get doused on. There's a winner there in Indy. There's a winner there. It's hard, man. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. I would take the over. I'd back them.
That's a tough stretch for them right there in that schedule. Playing Cincy.
There's a lot of liabilities in
Chicago, then Buffalo, then Baltimore.
And 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers goes down anytime during that stretch, they're screwed. And by the way, so those are the answers. I'm saying under. I'm saying they have 8. I say they're at 8-19. Now, speaking of quarterbacks real quick, then we're going to give you the deal and get out of here. Right now, Daniel Jones outplayed Richardson at the Colts in the OT, in this mandatory mini camp.
Yeah.
They said he looked better than Richardson, and Richardson got a little banged up. Again, he's the Christoph Porzingis of the NFL, because every time the wind blows, he's hurt. But nonetheless, maybe Daniel Jones, and why New York offered him $110 million for 3 years or whatever it was. Then they got rid of him after last year. But he's outplaying what they're banking their franchise on right now in the spring. Now, maybe in the fall, Richardson more motivated, maybe healthier. I don't know what the problem was, but that's interesting news out of Indianapolis Colts camp. And you can get all this news as Doc's Daily will be talking more and more about football as the month goes along. We will on the Vegas Beat and the Gridiron Six Pack. But just a little taste of the football talk, because everybody needs their fix now that there's no NBA. So guys and gals that don't like baseball or betting it, you're crazy, but you don't like it. Bottom line is, it's nice to hear a little football talk.
Yeah,
Get the whispers in the wind, and you can already tell
29 days.
how much animosity there's going to be in the air between Detroit Lenny and Griff Murphy, Chicago Bear, that I'm just going to throw these guys in here to piss you off all the time. All we do is win games with the best quarterback in the NFL. But that being said, once again, watch the Vegas Beat from last week, the prop bet special in its entirety. We offered a year of props, all sports, whatever prop bet we have out from July 2nd today or whenever you sign up. We extended this a week till July 2nd of 2026. That covers all your NFL, all your NBA, this year in Major League Baseball, WNBA, anything, NHL as well. $650 face value. $25 a day for a prop card is over $9,000, basically 93% off. You call that 866 number right there with no hassles, no upsell, no hidden agenda. Say, I want the Vegas Beat prop discount. It's not on the website. You just call customer service. They'll hook you up. Me or Griff. $650 is the price tag for one of us. If you want us both, it's $1,300. But at the end of the day, take advantage of it. It's a great deal. Lenny, any final words before we let everybody go?
Good luck, unless you're against me.
Hey, did you hear that?
Bears.
Did you hear? You know what you need to do? You need to take the missus down to the plaza.
Dude, I'm not even lying.
Take advantage of that 100. That's a staycation, dude.
I just reshared your Twitter post and told everybody that I live here and I'm taking advantage of this deal. I have on my other monitor, for those of you who don't know, it's like NASA here with monitors. I have the deal pulled up right here.
I used to go over to the Red Rock.
That'll be done within a half hour.
I used to go over to the Red Rock and sit at the pool for meetings so I could stare at eye candy, and my bar tab would be $250, and I was there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Dude, unbelievable.
We'll figure out dates that you two knuckleheads are coming, and we'll be down there. We'd be like the Three Stooges at the Plaza Bar, but we'll get our money's worth by
we'll ruin
an hour. I guarantee you.
Well, you know what? I tell you what. Griffin Murphy. He's in the other room at my house right now. We're working on football. I think because he's acting like he's on the unlimited well drinks here at my house. So I'm going to just charge him a flat $125 a day. It's the same thing.
Same deal, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah. I fed him Cajun shrimp last night and he had chocolate cake.
I did. Tony whips up some of the best Cajun shrimp you'll ever have. I'll tell you guys that. We did.
Followed by chocolate cake and a glass of milk.
Had a nice day yesterday.
Thanks for tuning in to the Vegas Beat. We'll be back next Wednesday. Be sure to tune in to Doc's Daily every day. our daily show at noon Central live. You can make comments on there. Check out Doc's YouTube channel. And anytime, Bob's going to say, anytime that you go to the website to buy a package, we have a free $60 discount there.
Yeah.
We add $60 to any new account right there. Now, that does not apply to the Doc's Daily, the Vegas Beat prop discount. Okay,
Right.
because we've already cut off 93%. But
Right.
if you want to experience the website for free, we'll give $60 to anybody that opens up a new account, comes with a profit guarantee. You can read about it on the website. For Griffin Murphy. And by the way, what did I tell you when you came in my house yesterday? You're only allowed to wear the Texas hat one day because they beat up my Huskers when we were in the Big 12, and I don't like Texas. So get a different lid, bro.
Listen. First of all, it's the Bolts. It's the Bolts.
Tennessee.
We're on Tennessee here. Second off, as soon as we get off the damn Vegas Beat, I'll go change my hat for you.
It reminds me of Texas.
Christ.
It
Yeah, I
reminds
thought
me
it was
of
Texas too.
I
Good luck unless you're against us, folks.
Thanks.
care.
Thanks for tuning in.